I need a change. You've been cold to me too many times. You're wasting money. You're a leaker. So I'm replacing you with a new Navien tankless water heater. No more cold shoulders, no more leaks. Just spa-like comfort and Navien peace of mind. And oh, I want you out today.
When you're ready for a change, ask your plumber about Navien or visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.
The ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz are some of the most iconic objects in Hollywood history. And in the summer of 2005, a pair was stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in the small town of Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
All she said was, "They're gone. They're gone."
Welcome to No Place Like Home, a documentary podcast series that investigates the mysterious heist of the ruby slippers. Please listen and follow No Place Like Home, a presentation of C13 Originals, a Cadence 13 studio, available now on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Question, good or bad? One time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-ROCK.
A few examples of what we're talking about. It says men's room. Hola, bitches. I came across a job one time in my 20s where this guy paid me $500 to let him tie my feet in bondage and tickle my feet with feathers and other random things, all for a foot fetish website that he was building. Easiest $500 I've ever made. You were talking about someone, basically, not quite identity theft, but getting access to your debit card or whatever. Yeah. I like this guy. Says, some clown, he stole my Buffalo Wild Wings points. Hey, man.
What is? I wonder what their point. Wonder what their point deal is.
Well, this guy will never know.
Huh?
Because someone else.
I mean,
I like that's what they took.
I mean, like, do they get the wings or?
Man, I'm going to go out on a limb here because been some point systems. Yeah, you probably eat there a lot. You get some free wings.
And somebody did. And this guy says, I had a charge of over $300 in Great Britain for Uber. This is while I was in Utah driving truck long haul. Went to use my debit card, and it declined.
And look, Uber, I use Uber all the time. But if you're in London, you got to get in the black cab.
Oh, dude, those things. It's unbelievable.
It is.
They are bigger on the inside than they are on the outside. I'm telling you.
And you were the one who told me. They got to take these tests, so wherever the cabbie drives you, he knows everything about the city.
Yeah, dude, I'm
it's
telling you.
It's like a tour guide.
If you ever go to, just go to London for the cab.
For real. And the warm beer.
And the warm beer, that's right. And you can have mushy peas and beans for breakfast. Hello, Carrie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
How you doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
Positive Friday.
That's exactly right.
Positive Friday.
There you go.
So, Miles, I'm in the same boat as you. I grew up in northern Ohio near Detroit, right on the border.
Toledo?
And I moved to Zanesville, Ohio when I was 15.
Yep.
Yep. So, I've seen it all.
I bet you have. Toledo's a nice show all by itself.
Yeah. So, this is my story about Toledo.
Okay.
It's a hellhole.
It is. I mean, it's on the lake. It should be beautiful. How does Ohio screw up waterfront property as bad as Toledo and then, of course, the fine city of Cleveland?
They've mastered the art.
They really have. Like your waterfront, you still have a crap hole.
This is a great lake. It's a beautiful lake, and we're going to put this ugly, disgusting, rusted tailpipe right next to it.
It's like when you're standing in downtown Detroit and you look over at Windsor and you go, huh.
Right?
It can be like that, huh?
Wow. I'll be damned.
We had a boat that was docked by the Davis-Besse nuclear power plant.
That's good time.
Oh, all class.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, when I was almost 15, the Lucas County Fair, which is in Maumee, Ohio, which is south of Toledo, where the Bedheads play, I worked at the county fair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, a county fair.
Oh, that's the worst.
That is called like the human surprise.
I mean, I used to have to broadcast for a week from the Maryland State Fair, and that was just like the land of surprise. You didn't know what the hell was going to walk up to.
That's like opening a shoebox that someone left on your front porch, and you don't know what's in it.
All you got stickers and keychains. You ain't got a T-shirt, nothing.
So this is 1985, and I started out at the cotton candy booth.
Can you make cotton candy?
Yeah, in 90-degree heat in August in Toledo, Ohio, which is great.
Is that the standard starting point if I'm working at the county fair? Like we start you off in, what you call it?
Pretty soon I'm going to be on the funnel cake.
And I was recruited by the Freak Show.
Okay.
Yeah, So I worked at the freak show.
What did you do?
I did a variety of things. I was Sabrina the Spider Girl.
And what does that entail? If I go to see Sabrina the Spider Girl, what am I seeing?
You go into that big old weird tent thing, and my head was through a cornhole kind of thing with a spider thing around my head. And they would ask me questions, and I would just...
Wait, what kind of questions does Sabrina the Spider Girl?
Yeah, right.
I mean, what are you answering?
They would just ask me stupid. I can't. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
But I would just respond in smart ass comments of I'm going to eat your bug or something like that.
And how long were you required to stand there as Sabrina the Spider Girl?
It was only like a 15-minute thing, and then I went on to change into my other leotard, and then I would walk across the guy on the bed of nails.
Ooh, were you eager to do that the first time you did it, or did it take some convincing?
No, it totally freaked me out. But I was making $80 a day.
Okay, I'm going to say, I'm assuming you're attractive. That's why they recruited you for this?
Apparently back then I was.
Back then.
And I'm guessing light, because the guy with the bed of nails, it's always a real thin woman. It's never
You're never going to bring the beast into
here's Big Shirley.
I was almost 15, so at my age,
okay.
Yeah, I was lucky. Nothing weird happened, but and then I worked with a guy, a small person. His name was Haas, and he had like a tongue piercing, and he would lift up buckets of nails with his tongue.
This is amazing.
What are your parents making of this when you go home and say, "Hey, you'll never guess what I did at work today"?
This COVID stuff's got to be killing this gig. He still got a bit, right?
I stayed with my friends that whole 2 weeks. It was 1985, so
okay.
Okay, so you said like $80 a day for 2 weeks, huh?
Yeah, that was a lot of money back then.
Sure it is.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's crazy.
I spent it all at like trashy clothing stores. But anyway, and then I went on to I got promoted to be the headless woman.
Okay, that is an actual. Why is that a step up, say, from Sabrina the Spider Girl?
Because they had to pay $2 extra to see the headless woman.
And what was the trick there? How were you headless?
You pretended you were married?
No. No, I sat in a chair, and then you'd put your head back, and it had like all these mirrors that would project that you were headless.
Okay.
And did you talk, or did you just sit there and people think you're headless?
I would just like move my hands like slowly because they would, to make sure I was still alive.
Okay, they want to make sure the headless person's still. That's a hell of a gig,
man.
That
is, man. Did you go back and never do it again? Did the circus people call you?
Hell no. But the cool thing was, before the park opened during the day, we would be able to go in early and ride all the zipper rides and all the stuff for free, and then play the carny games. They would just give us, free Bon Jovi
that's cool.
posters.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, man. Okay, that's definitely a different job.
I like that, man.
Yeah, the people, though, man, the people that work at those fairs, and no disrespect to the people who work at those fairs, but my God, man, I mean, especially at the Maryland State Fair, that was, you don't even know. I mean,
I hate it. When you first get in the radio, you get stuck with all these stupid assignments that nobody wants to do. So look, if you're going to meet your favorite jock of the so-and-so, they don't want to be there.
Right.
But the State Fair, man, is just this inexplicable experience.
And I'll speak for Maryland by itself. Like if this would be the equivalent of having a cocaine anonymous convention in Las Vegas. If you care at all about your children, if you knew you are bringing your kids into just the worst possible scenario as far as what the adult population has probably done in their lifetime. It's like, I want to bring my kids around some people who've done some really, really sketchy stuff.
It was like
lifetime.
Scared Straight, but with rides.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's right. So,
I mean, my God, man. Like, if you knew what that guy has done, you would never even come in this parking lot.
I also feel like there's different versions when you're there.
What do you mean?
Like the ride people that kind of show up from town to town and bring the rides. I feel like that's a different group.
They're driving trucks.
They're working.
Yeah.
They're just
they
working.
own those machines. They're going from town to town. You're right.
Right, but I'm saying some of the people working those are a little off. Whereas, like, you go to, like, the food area, and it's, like, sometimes it's just, like, a stand that's, like, at this fair every year. I've been to a few of them, right?
Yeah.
And then there's, like, like I said, at Texas Fair. Then there's, like, the creepy guy that was running the
weird horse thing?
Yeah, Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
So why was he creepy? I thought he was just telling you straight up what was going on.
Because you paid 5 tickets to go see Tiny Tim, and then the guy goes, the secret is he's a dwarf. I can't. Every time I tell that story, I still feel awful that I gave 5 tickets for that.
You feel bad that you went to see it.
Yes, it's one of the worst things in my life. But when you went to the food stands, you could tell these were like families, like
Yeah,
sure,
right. That's different than the traveling group.
right, and the Tiny Tim crew, or Big Al.
Our men's room blank question: good or bad? One time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-RUN.
Right, and didn't the Maryland one always have like snake guy?
Yes.
Yeah, just walking around. And then
Yeah. I got a bag full of snakes.
But keep in mind, like an hour later, you'd see Snake Guy, and he's pissed off, and you kind of give a listen, and it was always the same thing. They won't let me get on the so-and-so ride. I'm like,
God.
with a bag of snakes, bro?
Look,
no.
The guy from Glen Burnie who won a T-shirt, you know what I mean? He still won't put a shirt on. He just won one, but it doesn't matter. It's over the shoulder.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I
I know, and right. I don't know. You're not at the beach. You're not in a park. It's just the time to be sure.
There should be a rule that says you have to wear a shirt when you're on the rides. Not at the Maryland State Fair.
Right. Like you're on the roller coaster in front of me,
exactly.
and all I can do is smell you.
You put your arm up, and it's just
Like,
pink.
oh!
God.
Hello, Desmond. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How y'all doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks. Positive Friday.
Positive Friday.
Positive Friday. That's right.
So was this good or bad?
I got an interesting story for you guys. So this was about 8 years ago. A buddy of mine called me up. He's like, hey, do you want to come to Northern California and make about $5,000? Me being, 18 years old, was figuring, hey, man, $5,000 sounds pretty good. It's probably the most I've ever made in a job.
Did you even ask what it was for? Or did you agree to it before you even got the details?
Had you ever clipped?
No, hell no. I was 18 years old. I was working at a restaurant making $9 an hour.
Oh, no, I'm right there. I'd have been like, yep, doesn't matter what it is, man.
Did you ever trim marijuana before?
Did I ever try marijuana before? At that point, yeah. I had smoked a little bit. I had smoked a little bit of weed when I was a younger teenager.
So what they want you to do?
So we drove down there. It was about a 10-hour drive down there. Made a road trip, and we get out to this guy's property, and he's got a little. It's a big property, and he's got a little hut out there. He says, "Hey guys, I want you, running it down. I want you to stay here, stay the night. I'll come back in the morning, check up on you guys." And at that point, we figured, we got to be watching marijuana plants. Well, you couldn't see it anywhere, right? Like it wasn't visible from the hut. During the middle of the night, we decided, what are we doing just sitting here? Let's go check around a little bit. And we walked about, I don't know, maybe 500 yards down this little pass, and it was just plants as far as the eye could see.
Did the angels weep?
It was so surprising. Like I didn't expect. Like I had seen a lot of weed, but I had never seen that much weed in my life before.
Right.
And that was just way too much. So, the night just went on, uneventful. We're sitting there, we had a little campfire going. We drank a couple beers, and guy comes back in the morning, hands us an envelope full of cash, and we went on our happy little way with $5,000 each.
You mean legitimately this guy paid you $5,000 just to spend the night on the property to make sure no one else shows up?
Yep. It must have been a pretty big operation because he liked to do that. Just give people, especially younger people, because they don't really ask any questions for $5,000.
I wouldn't ask questions now.
If you get a chance, man, Ted turned me onto this. It's called Murder Mountain on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay.
That's about Weed County and about an area where they do hire kids to go up there. They end up trimming and working those fields for the summer or whatever. But that's a very
Emerald Triangle.
Yeah, it's a very lawless area.
How much money are they
the
making?
sheriff doesn't want to go up there. It's all private property. It's gated. Well, the problem is that you're probably not going to make it out of there alive. It's one of those areas where there's so many,
hence murder. Yeah,
so many missing people in various situations that just got probably higher up. People got tangled in the wrong deals or deals gone wrong.
Sure.
Right, and there's other stuff that show up, right? I mean, anytime there's other harder drugs that show up, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why you do it the Desmond way. Just one night, out.
Do it the Desmond way. We do it one night, we're gone.
But there's
Nothing
also
happened. We had a nice little bonfire and some beers.
Yeah, I was going to say, it also happened in the state of Washington and in Colorado, too. A lot of people just moved to these states because there was this idea that with legalization of marijuana, there was going to just go out there and you could get jobs working in weed.
Yeah, but the people that are already working in weed basically just went over to the other side, right? I'm saying, like the state, you already had people working in the industry. The industry just wasn't regulated because it was not legal, but the state needed the right people to do these jobs, and guess who's qualified?
And
there weren't a whole lot of jobs. The people, when I first moved here, I almost said his name. I will not say his name, but You guys have met him, South African dude?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first moved here, his wife had a job in a place that you had heard of, and then this dude, he never worked as far as I knew, but they had a pretty decent house, pretty close to where you're at, Miles, on the other side of the canal, right? Nice house, and he's a pretty handy dude. So when you went in, man, they had a pretty smooth crib. But every time we went over, two of us, we get real stoned, which is just par for the course. And then it occurred to me, like, oh, this guy's part of a bigger grow operation, but it's fantastic. But he was like their alchemist. He was the guy that really, really understood. So he wasn't really in distribution, but, he's all about the plants, man. He loves the horticulture end of it, whatever. But this dude was always riding his longboard, this kind of thing. They legalize it in the state of Washington. People go through it if they go. Next time I see him, brother's in a suit, and he's like, hey, listen, man. He's like, now I work for the state. So he's like, I got a pension. I forgot. But he's like, I've changed nothing about what I do. But he's like, and I only had to wear the suit essentially when they meet with other state leaders. Yeah. I was like, oh, I dress the same. I do the same thing.
You got to go to Olympia. But you got to dress the part.
But his thing is my expertise is finally paying off. But when I talked to him about it, it's like, no, they're not hiring people. They know they've got the people here. But he's like, I'm one of these people who really understands what I'm doing. So they're paying me a lot of money. And now he's retired and moved to Arizona.
Oh, really?
He's younger than I am. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he made bank.
Good or bad, one time I made bank doing blank. How about that one? 206-421 Rock, yeah.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, man. So I used to make money in my freshman year of college. Well, I kind of fell into it, but I used to make money my freshman year of college sleeping with virgins.
Hang on. What?
I mean,
all right. So, hey, here's the deal. So, me and my buddies were all hanging out. We're down at the dining hall. We're getting some breakfast. We're hungover. One of the chicks from the dorm that we're at, she comes over with one of her friends, and I guess she was thinking it would just be like a numbers game. She comes up and asks us, "Hey, my friend's birthday is coming up tonight. All she wants to do is lose her virginity. Which one of y'all is going to do it?" And
she asked a college student this question.
Mm-hmm. we all take a look at this girl, and she was all right, but everybody wasn't into it. But I started thinking, well, I mean, I wouldn't do it for free, but and so everybody says no. They walk away. They're heading towards the bathroom, and I go, "Oh, guys, I got to take a leak." I walk over to them real quick, and I go, "Hey, I'll do it, but I'll do it for all the cash you got." And she goes, "Well, I don't have a lot." And I go, "How much do you have?" She goes, "Oh, I've got like $40." I go, "Perfect. Done deal." "When do you want to do it?" She goes, "Oh, I got dinner plans tonight. How about we do it after then?" And then, that whole ordeal goes fine. I mean, she's a virgin, so there's like a learning curve, And
yes, Sensei.
2 weeks go by. And
yes, Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, wax on.
Yeah, man. So 2 weeks go by. I end up seeing her again. She's with a different friend, and she goes, "Oh, I know somebody who is in the same situation I was in. Would you want to do that with them too?" And I go, "Are they paying?" And she goes, "Sure." And then one thing led to another. I ended up sleeping with 10 girls my freshman year for $20, $40, whatever. Just however much they had. It just
no one has ever paid me to have sex with them.
No.
And I understand that.
No.
But damn, man.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, ever. But at that
I
age,
should just
I
should just pay the people I'm with just because I feel sorry for them.
Just hazard pay.
You know what I mean? God, I'm sorry, man. Here, it's $40.
Another $20 if I sweat on it.
Yeah. You didn't have to look at me, did you? Okay, good. Good or bad, one time I made blank doing blank. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Dad, I've actually found learning at home has been better than I thought. And I feel I'm much farther ahead than many of my friends.
Visit laurelsprings.com to learn more about a unique way of getting your child the personalized education they need. For 30 years, Laurel Springs School has been engaging global learners in grades kindergarten through 12th grade and integrating their passions and pursuits. Laurel Springs School. We build an education around you.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. By Odyssey.
The men's room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Men's room blank question, good or bad? One time I made blank doing blank. Here's a good one. This guy didn't do anything. Matter of fact, probably even forgot about it. Back in 1992, friends Thomas Cook and Joseph Feeney shook hands and swore that if either one of them ever won the Powerball jackpot, they would split the winnings no matter who bought the tickets. Now, nearly 2 decades later, the two are celebrating with a $22 million win. According to a news release from the Wisconsin Lottery, friends of Tom of Elk Mound and Joe made good on that handshake when Tom realized the Powerball ticket he bought at an exit at a Shell station for the June drawing was the $22 million jackpot winner. After learning of the win, Tom called Joe to tell him the news, and Joe, an avid fisherman, could not quite believe it. He called me and I said, "Are you jerking my bobber?"
Is that what he said?
He said, "Are you jerking my bobber?"
For real.
Tom gave us 2 weeks immediately and retired upon learning of his win. Joe was previously retired from an area fire department. The one guy who he called, he forgot about the handshake deal.
Of course.
Guy who won the Powerball did not. And he got, I think they said they're going to just take it. They chose the cash option, which is $16.7 million. So Tom and Joe each took home about $5.7 million after federal and state taxes. So that's a pretty good haul right there. Good or bad? One time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-ROCK.
Here's a few for you. I got paid $18 an hour as a pelvic model for gynecology students at a local school. Men's room. I made some money making an infomercial for a squeegee. Way high window guy here. TheUltimateSqueegee.com. One day at work, a guy says, "Hey, man, you want to make some money?" I said, "Sure." So we recorded a video, and I said, "I'm a professional window cleaner, and I recommend the Ultimate Squeegee. Easy, $100 bucks."
I'm going to kick your ass next time I play in that golf tournament, too.
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room. Hola!
How's it going, guys?
Doing great. Positive Friday. You
Positive
know it.
Friday.
You know it.
Well, I was a cook for 13 years of my life. I'm almost 31, and I was making $15 an hour, and I got denied on a 2-bedroom apartment, as you can imagine. You talked about earlier, and so what I went out and did is I got a new car, and then I was drunk in the back of an Uber, and I was like, man, I should Uber. So I signed up for Ubered on the side, and I made half of my paycheck in one night, which was $300. And I showed up the next day to my cook job. I asked for a raise, and they kind of said no, so I walked out and went and made the rest of my paycheck in the second night. And I've been Uber driving ever since, almost 2 years now.
So, but are you doing it full time?
Yeah, I mean, ever since the pandemic, I've only been doing deliveries, but it's still been panning out, still making decent money, better money than I was as a cook.
That's got to keep you busy, because I didn't realize all the services and all the things that Uber does, but I've got to go in and get a colonoscopy, right? So I have to get all this. I have to get all this different medication. I stood in line, I swear to God, one morning for 45 minutes. I will not tell you the place, but every person in there had like 6 prescriptions they were picking up.
Right.
And, just with the medical card. I mean, it's just a long process, and I'm in line, and I'm like, oh, my God, this sucks. Next time around, they say, would you like this stuff delivered to your door? And I was like, absolutely, I want this stuff delivered to my door. They did it in the afternoon. It was an Uber driver, and I ended up paying on my Uber bill for him to come. It was like $4.
Nice.
Yeah,
for an Uber guy
I've
to
done
come.
a few of those.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's awesome. I had no idea. So I know you guys do Uber Eats and all that stuff. What's your car smell like? I mean, between delivering Azel's fried chicken and then picking up somebody who wants to go to the airport.
I stopped putting air freshener in because the smell of the food just overtook it. But, like I said, since January, I haven't picked up one person since the pandemic, and I'm waiting it out.
Based on the smell of the food, because we know you haven't looked in there, what is the restaurant that you want to try based on the delivery that you made from the smell coming out of the bag?
There's some Creole place down here in Tacoma that I wanted to try with some garlic poor boy shrimp sandwich.
All right. You're just sitting in the car smelling this, mouth watering.
I got to get
the
back
worst
there.
is always McDonald's, though. It always smells like S.
Oh, I love the smell of McDonald's.
But everyone knows the smell. You don't confuse it with any other place.
I mean, you can get in an elevator and go, someone was on here with McDonald's.
I think it's specifically the fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is the fries.
But I tell you what, that would be the toughest part for me because I like food a lot. So I would always think to myself like, I need to get back to that place. You know?
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely.
What time do they close? Maybe I'll end this shift early.
I mean, do you provide any accommodations when you do pick up people? Bag them. Those were the days. Some Uber drivers, you hop in, they're like, would you like a bottled water, a breath mint, this, that? You do any of that nonsense, or it's like just get in the car and shut up?
When it was like Halloween or Valentine's Day, I always put some candy back there. But when I was picking up people, a lot of times everyone was drunk, and I'm not giving a drunk guy a bottle of water.
Did you have any Karen or drunk dude experiences, Chads, when you were in your anybody throw up back there? What was the worst experience you had when you were taking people?
I only had one gal puke, and it was the first week I was doing it, and it was the last time I ever picked up somebody at 3 a.m.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair enough.
It's weird to me. It's 3 a.m. I feel like
I must be lonely.
Like 11 to 2 a.m.
I feel like that would be worse than 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like if you're still up at 3 a.m., you know what you're doing. It's a party.
You should be staying where you're at.
Oh, no.
No, but
maybe you were at an after. I'm just saying,
okay.
if I'm getting in an Uber at 3 a.m., like I've had a good night, but like I've committed to this night. So like I wouldn't think you're getting super drunk guy at 3 a.m. Like, damn,
usually
how do you make it to 3?
I'm in good with the bartenders, and I'm playing dice with them when they locked me in. But I still got my faculties about it.
You have to.
Right, but if I get picked up between 11 and 2, I might just be wasted.
Yeah, that to me, that is the witching hour.
Yeah.
Good or bad, one time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-ROCK.
You know, now that I say that out loud, there's probably stuff that backs it up.
What do you mean?
Like, I think there's more DUIs in between those couple hours.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, because look, at 3 a.m., you're no longer in a hurry to get home. You've already gotten in trouble, so it doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Between 11 and 2, you might still be on the clock. That's when people, I feel like, make slightly more irrational decisions.
They're still staying up.
Right.
Hello. It kind of blows my mind just how many movies they've made there.
How many?
Hello,
Aaron. On the radio? Oh, crap.
How many movies have they made there?
A lot. More than I could count.
Okay.
What are we even talking about?
The drive-through.
He's ordering food at the drive-through.
What are you getting?
Yep. All right, so what I did, this dude used to pay me to go with him on drug deals and make sure he didn't get robbed.
All right.
How much did you get paid, or was it based on who he was going to visit?
Here, you can have that. I didn't want to go with him to, like, when he was selling it. I went with him when he was, like, re-upping or whatever you want to call it. But he give me $300 every other weekend.
Are you a big dude? Can you fight? Do you pack a gun? What is it about you that's intimidating?
I wouldn't exactly say I could fight, but I've always been told I'm big and intimidating, especially if I'm not wearing glasses. And that's the part that sucked because when I wear glasses, everyone kind of tells me I kind of look like a goofy dude. But women say that if I approach them without wearing glasses, they feel like they're about to get raped. So,
Jesus Christ.
Okay, all right.
I picked goofy.
On my appearance, if I take my glasses off.
What food are you ordering?
Oh, I just got coffee.
All right.
Look at the letdown, and you go, I want to know what you're going to eat.
Well, you know I had to ask.
No, I did. He didn't answer. Good or bad, one time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-ROCK.
The worst thing is, whatever he said, whatever fast food restaurant, Miles and I would have been excited.
Oh, I'm sure.
Are you getting nuggets? You got to get nuggets there.
You know what I like about that guy? It's only happened to me when I was younger. And certainly when I worked in restaurants, you closed late. If you worked with women, a lot of times if they parked like 2 blocks away, like, hey, will you walk me to your car, right? And I'm always like, yeah, sure. But in my head, I'm like, I hope the ass doesn't hit the fan because I don't know what you think I plan on doing. If like 4 guys are going to jump you, be like, I check a purse, fellas. Like you know what I mean? Like that. And I get it. Like you felt better, but in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, one, if anything happens, you're going to be shocked. I'm not really going to be able to help. 2, now I got to walk my ass back.
Look, dude. When I used to work doors, the first bar I worked at was there were some shady characters.
Okay.
Right. So one night I'm working the door, checking IDs. This guy comes in, and you could see he's got a pistol.
Sure.
Like, his T-shir's over, but you could see he's got a pistol. And I remember the other guy I worked with was like, dude, that guy has a pistol. And I was like, so?
Right.
He's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, what am I going to do? Tell him to take it off? And then he's like, you could at least call the cops or something. And I was like, The cops showed up. I was like,
all right.
Right, like, what do you want to do?
Like, right, like, I'm going to disarm a guy. Like, first of all, where I lived, there was no like, you could not have a concealed weapon.
No, because everybody did. None of them were legal.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, yeah, good. Look, get your gun.
Yeah, people are like, man, you go say something to him. You say something to him.
Not me. One time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholos.
Hola.
All right, so when I was in high school, I used to mod the original Xbox and then put like hacked custom software on it you can get from the internet, and then I load it with like every N64 game, every Super Nintendo game, every Atari game.
I know a lot of cats that did that, man, and they made some pretty good coin.
Same with cable boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was too nice of a kid, so I'd only do it for I'd charge my friends like, oh, just give me $60. So, and then I'd have weed money. I could have made way more money though. You're right.
What would it be worth to someone? So you got an Xbox. I mean, even right now, you get an Xbox, but you put in all the stuff so they can play whatever game.
Nowadays, probably what I said. I could sell one for $60, but back when it came out, dude, people would sell them online for $300-$400.
Sure.
Too nice. I thought I was ripping people off because the software was free and technically, the games that's technically pirated. So, I felt
that's why you charge more. You charge more when things are illegal because that's kind of your hazard pay.
Mm-hmm. And those modified ones were crazy, man, because they would. I knew somebody. I guess they got a hold of one, and they had every game you could imagine, games from other programs like Nintendo game, man, this Xbox is awesome.
We had a guy that we knew. He worked for the cable company, and that was his deal, man. He'd come in. You pay him $50, no questions asked. He would just hook your box up. So he would do whatever he did. He'd come in.
My brother,
you had all the channels, and you just kind of kept your mouth shut.
My brother turned me on to this, and he's 5 years older. So I go to visit his apartment at the time, and he has HBO. And keep in mind, at this time, having HBO and Cinemax and Showtime, this is unbelievable. I'm like, wow, man. And he said, the cable guy came, and he's like, I offered him $20. And the guy was like, look, I don't care. So he took my $20. And he hooked me up. So when I finally move out and get cable, at this time I bump it up to $35. And the guy's hooking up the cable, and I'm like, hey man, $35 extra bucks, you give me those premium channels. Sir, I cannot do that. I'm like, oh God. How did my brother do this? And I did. Oh man, I
can't do that.
Yeah, the guy was irritated with me. He finished hooking up the cable, and he was kind, but you could tell he was irritated. This son of a
I'm a proud employee at Chesapeake Cable, and I would never shoot so low.
I would never. Right, he had that kind of air, and I'm like, well, damn, man, I thought this was the regular thing.
Good or bad? One time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-ROCK.
Yeah, it's like when somebody tells you to go to a liquor store when you're underage. Don't worry. Then you go, and they're like, "Where's your ID?"
Look, there was one.
Oh, you got the wrong guy. Was it the older guy or the younger guy?
Exactly.
It's always something like that.
We had one guy, and no, you're right, because we all ran into that. We did find a place in Baltimore that would serve or sell underage, and you still made your effort to look older, which, of course, at that time was oil your dirt stash and put on a pair of sunglasses. For whatever reason, you felt like that made you look older. But you would go in, and you're broke, and he would have signs in the window for how much the cases of whatever are. So we were buying the Beast, right? Milwaukee's Best. That was always the cheapest. You could buy a case, and it was $7.99 for a case. So I go in there with $10, and I'm still trying to act like an adult, and I put the case up there, and he's like, yeah, man, that's $8.99. Remember, I was like, the sign right there says the $7.99. He goes, you got ID? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, it's $9.99. So, but we went to him, man. He just took a little off. Hey, it worked. We loved that guy.
Good or bad? One time I made blank doing blank. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Paul. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
Well, I got just a quick thing on first apartments. My first apartment after I got out of school was $250 a month, and it had a washer and dryer in it.
Wow.
Clinch the deal.
That does clinch the deal.
That man, I'm telling you, after my last place that did not have a washer and dryer, said I will not move to a place does not have a washer and dryer. That's one thing I just can't take.
Oh, man.
That was the ultimate, man. It was great. So
when you're sitting in a laundromat, you just have all kinds of thoughts about your life.
You do.
I mean,
I could not be in a laundromat. I hated every decision.
Because where I live, someone will steal your clothes.
That's anywhere.
All right. So, but you're just sitting there, and it's just
you
looking
hate every part of your life.
There's a vending machine, and it's just tables. There's one old lady in the corner, and you're just like, God, this sucks. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
It does.
Yeah, going to a
sucks.
laundromat sucks.
It just sucks.
You know why it sucks?
right.
Because no other time that you wash your clothes do you stand in front of the washer and wait for
Right.
it. You go do other things.
Dude, ours broke when I was a kid, and we went to laundromat for like 2 years.
It was okay when they had the ones with the bars. Go ahead.
The best laundromat I ever heard of was a buddy of mine. It butted up against a bar, and it had a door between the bar and the laundromat. And he said that was the best laundromat he ever went to.
That is the best laundromat.
In New Orleans, they don't have a door. It is a bar and laundromat.
Is it really?
It is separate, right? And I'd never seen it before, and I hated laundromats. Everyone kept telling me, "You're gonna like this place." Whatever. You walk in, it's the bar first. It was separated from the laundromat by a pool table, but you're just in the back of the bar. But that was fine.
That's great.
I mean, yeah, you just got sloshed. So how did you? What did you do to make a little extra money?
Well, what I was back right after I started working, after I got out of school, and usual, it's you're not making a lot of money and whatnot. So I was very, shall we say, I followed my checkbook religiously and balanced it like twice a month as best I could,
Okay.
And I found $100 mistake in my favor. And I went through it like 3 or 4 times. I even went to the point where I took my bank and my checkbook and my statement into the bank, and I left it with him. He called, and the bank manager called me back in 3 days, and he said, "It isn't worth our time and effort. We can't find it. The $100 is yours."
Oh, nice. So it was worth your time and effort.
Your bank said that.
Yes, it was.
This is a long time ago. This must have been like in the 50s.
Yeah, I mean, like,
we're going to charge you $2 just walk in the door.
Do you want to use that ATM to get your money? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to get your money out? That's going to be $3.
So we got a convenience fee.
We keep the money, and then we give it to you, and we make you pay for the money that we give you that's yours. One time I
know, credit union before
blank.
You send it all.
Yeah.
Hello, Raymond. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, dinosaurs.
Hola.
Yes.
Cheers.
All right. Woo.
Anywho, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I used to be in collections. And I worked for a guy who worked for a guy, and, we usually made 3 to 5% off the top, whatever we collected, or whatever the bill was. So one night we went in, not even 2 hours, made $800 straight off the bat.
$800.
We said, "Good for you."
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, especially if it's cash.
About $800. It's about $400 an hour.
Oh, man.
I suggest.
Yes, I would work for $400
I'll tell you
an
what,
hour.
man.
I'll tell you what. I will get naked and act like a dog online, members only, whatever it's called. For
OnlyFans.
Yeah. OnlyFans for 100. I'm just pretending I don't know.
OnlyFans / Ted is a bear.
I told that story.
That's a joke.
Yeah, I told that story about T-boning into that car, right? When I was in, I don't know, 24, 25 years old. I was in my Nissan, got all jacked up, took an ambulance ride, pretty messed up. But I had to go to the chiropractor, right? So I didn't realize this at the time, but my godfather was an attorney. He's like, "I'll take care of this with the insurance company."
I'm your godfather. I got this.
He's like, I will. I'll do you a one-time deal. And then from this point on, then you're going to pay me for my service. I was like, all right, Timmy, no problem. So he does all this stuff, goes to the insurance companies. He gets me a check for now obviously the cost of the car had been covered with my automobile insurance, but the personal injury part of it was completely different. So he's like, "You need to go to the chiropractor like 3 or 4 times a week." Okay. So I went to the chiropractor like 3 or 4 times a week, and I got a check for like $6,000. When that check came in the mail, I had never seen anything like this in my frickin' life. Like, you know what I mean? I had never, ever, I couldn't even imagine $6,000.
Yeah.
So I took $2,000 and went to Jamaica.
That's the thing to do,
first
man.
thing I did. I'd never seen that much money before.
Sure.
And I was like, man, honest to God, you know me, man. You know my theories on stuff. You know how stupid I am. Like, I should get into Rex all the time. This is very profitable. You know, like, this is amazing. Men's Room blank question, good or bad? One time I made blank doing blank. You are listening to the Men's Room.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. By Odyssey. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.